Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Nashtaprayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavatyuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishthiki krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha nandagopa kumaraya govindaya namo namaha. Welcome all of you for the part 2 of the Shaky to Steady spiritual life. So this is what we did yesterday. Quickly, one line we will say about it. Varnashrama as a mere tradition or for setting example. This is what most of the world is doing. People do their duties but without knowing the ultimate goal. Very clearly the Vishnu Purana says that Varnashrama acharavat purushena parah puman Vishnu Raradita Panta Nanyata Tosha Karanam. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling in South India, he asked this question: you are all performing this Varnashrama, what is the goal of that? They said just to offer the fruits to Vishnu, which is not wrong. In one sense, it's correct, but it is not complete. And let me tell you the difference between the two. For example, I do what I like to do and then offer a part of the fruits to Lord Vishnu. So my liking is more with the work than Vishnu. On the other hand, I do Navavida Bhakti for Vishnu. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Archanam, Mandanam, Pasayanam, Dasam, Sakhi, Mahatma Nivedanam. And all these 9 activities, I focus on Vishnu. And I always remember Vishnu, his pastimes, his activities, and his Vaikuntha activities, everything. And then I do what Lord orders me to do. That is called bhakti. That's the difference between karma and bhakti. So, Mahaprabhu said that Yat karoshi yadashnasi yadjuhoshi is an inferior verse compared to Sarvadharman Parityajya Mahamekam Sharanam Vraja. So, for example, a girl or a boy may choose a partner and then almost finalize it and then also inform the parents to take blessings. That is different from boy or girl leaving the matter to the parents and then allowing them to choose a partner and then get married. You understand the difference, correct now? So in the first example, I told you that they choose, the boy or girl chooses a partner and then they inform parents. Parents may not be happy, but sometimes they tolerate. They may say it's all right. Like when Daksha Prajapati offered the Hamsaguhya prayers, when Lord Vishnu appeared, Lord Vishnu told him, Daksha, fortunately, your desires are matching with mine, he said. My desires are matching with yours, he said. Which means you have a desire to be a Prajapati and you want to do the Praja Utpatti in this world. That is your program. But at the same time, I also was looking for somebody who can do this. So, fortunately, you have a desire. Okay, go ahead, he said. On the other hand, the pure devotees actually asked the Lord, Karishye vachanam tava. Not karishye vachanam mama. So the second line says, rising from piety to spirituality. Not only piety for prosperity. We discussed this yesterday. What to do if I am not frustrated with Maya? Tavat karmani kurvita na nirvidyeta yavata. Mat kata ashapanadava shraddha yavan najayate. Lord told this to Uddhava, that if somebody is not frustrated with the world and one is unable to realize Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Doshtana Darshanam. This world is filled with thirst and hunger and old age and death and lamentation and illusion. One is not able to see how it is suffering. Some people say, why you guys are saying suffering? I am enjoying myself. Some people say like that. Then one should continue the Varnashrama Dharma. Using it as a platform, one should practice Bhakti Yoga. So Krishna's special interest in demigod worshippers, we said, because the demigod worshippers oftentimes are open to Krishna worship also. Because the Vedic, ambience, that Vedic culture that creates is very anukul for Krishna Bhakti eventually. Therefore, Krishna is not totally against demigod worship. And why did Prabhupada preach vehemently against demigod worship? Because Prabhupada said that, the many reasons. Mayavadis are wrongly propagating that all gods are one, which is wrong. Or ultimately truth is impersonal. Like that they are misrepresenting the truth in this age. Also, there are many swindlers who claim to be God. So that is another problem. Then the demigod worshippers cannot afford to waste 100 or 200 lifetimes hoping that the world situation will be good enough for me to gradually come to Krishna. The gradual coming would be too late. By the time the Kali Yuga would become so ripe that we will become degraded. Therefore, Prabhupada said, in this one lifetime, take to Shuddha Bhakti and go back to Godhead. How Sadhu Sangha works from material delight to mixed devotion to pure devotion to Sri Krishna. We heard the story of that businessman who went to Lord Shiva and he was directed to Sanatana Goswami. So the main item in that story is that this businessman was taken by surprise how Sanatana Goswami kept the Parasamani in the refuse, where the people put the garbage. Why did he keep it? That means he has something more valuable than this Parasamani also. So constantly thinking of Sanatana Goswami's sublime Vaishnava qualities, his detachment, his devotion to Krishna, his purity. In this way, he was getting purified in the mind unknowingly. Just like a caterpillar keeps on meditating on a fly, gradually develops wings oneself. That example is given in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So in the same manner, this fellow was getting purified by meditating on saintly persons. So this is the way the mechanism of saintly association works. Like there were some people who loved Prabhupada, but then when Prabhupada left the planet, they stopped chanting also. And that could be sentimental love. The real love for a sadhu means you take the sadhu's instructions seriously to your heart. You carry it on your head and you faithfully fulfill it all your life. That's the meaning of real love. Sayeva sadhushu kruto mokshadvaram apavritam, it is said. So associating with the sadhu gives you such fixity in Krishna consciousness, it takes you back to Godhead. And then Varnashrama without sadhu sangha is like a car without driver. Simply brahmachari, grihastha, vanapra, sannyasi, one is practicing. There are many mathas nowadays, like in Kanpur, once when we were staying in ISKCON Kanpur, they took us to one matha at the bank of Ganga. It was some Mayavadi math, but there was abundant facilities for conducting classes and cottages were there for us to stay also. And the bank of the Ganges, we were doing some shivir for the brahmacharis we were doing. So many of the mathas, they have abundant facilities, but nothing is happening there. People just get up in the morning, do some study, and then take their prasad, and then they keep quiet. They don't do missionary activities. They don't propagate. They don't preach. So like that, sometimes many temples build a mandapam, but in that mandapam, what is supposed to happen doesn't happen. Like in Hyderabad also, there was one temple where they had a long hall. Satsang hall, they put it. But then satsang was not happening there. Because they were saying that there's no one to give satsang. Nor was anyone taking initiative to organize. So one of our devotees found out that this hall is just locked all the time. He went and asked the organizers, is it all right if we can use it for a Bhagavad Gita 18-day course? They said, most welcome. We were looking for somebody to come and ask us. They cleaned up and gave. And such wonderful facilities. They have a stage where devotees put cultural programs and Bhagavad Gita class, and then for prasadam distribution also they had provision facility, where you can wash hands, wash basin, everything. So which means many times you find people, they follow, married life rules and regulations and sadhu life, but ultimately they are not knowing the goal of life clearly. That's why Varnashrama without sadhu sangha is car without driver. It's stuck up. So bhakti in ignorance, passion and goodness. So we saw that passion is fruitive while ignorance causes slackness. That slide is very, very important. Bhakti in ignorance. Again, I think it will come. We will see it. That's right. We should see again because we are already trying to practice devotion service. So this, probably you can read this slide again to remind ourselves.
Bhakti in ignorance, passion, and goodness. The path leading to pure devotion is graded according to the devotee's relative freedom from the modes. Dominated by ignorance, the lowest stage, devotees tend to be lazy, to oversleep, to give up easily, to break the rules, to make foolish mistakes, and so on.
Yeah, out of this for me, the most important thing is that to give up easily. Actually, we make efforts, but somehow after some time, the good efforts don't continue. Any of you had that experience? Correct, no? We start some very auspicious good thing. For example, before Gaur Purnima comes, I want to finish the Chaitanya Bhagavat once. So you may take a vow. And then maybe for about 15 days, 20 days, steadily you study. And then after that, something else comes up. Then the good program is stopped. Yeah. So we should not give up very easily. And then?
Dominated by passion, they are apt to over endeavor, cultivate separate interests, be too attached to results, fight unnecessarily with others, and change services often and whimsically.
Yeah. So we over endeavor sometimes. The desire is to get credits, to get fame. Similarly, we cultivate separate interests because we are hesitant to share the credits with others. So it's called bhinnadrik. Because we think, hey, if I do book distribution to two more people, while announcement will become shared. I want only my name. Then we want to do it separately. We have separate interests. And be too attached to the results. Yeah. Fighting with others unnecessarily for small things because of false ego. And changing services often and whimsically means which service will give me more prominence, will give me more, put me more in limelight. That type of ambitious devotional service. That is dominated by passion. Dhruva Maharaj was like that. But we don't remain like that. Gradually we'll get purified. And then?
Dominated by goodness, devotees are inclined to remain secluded, be thoughtful, regulated, knowledgeable, happy to the point of self-complacency, and to think themselves better than others.
So, yes, remain secluded means what? Not that they go to jungle. People in goodness, they have a habit of keeping their mouth shut and not unnecessarily keep munching some words like a chatterbox. A person in passion will be too talkative, and that's how he gets into problems. Whereas person in goodness, they talk less and they do more. They're more observers, good listeners. And sometimes you speak 5 minutes and they'll just give a smile. Good, like that they will say, that's all. So they speak less, and that's how even in the middle of hundreds of people, they will not waste their time. They know how to be secluded. And they are thoughtful. That means they study, Prabhupada said, this Back to Godhead magazine should be distributed to people, to thoughtful people who will accept it gratefully. Prabhupada said, because the thoughtful people who accept it gratefully will read it and get awakened. And then they are also regulated in habits. Time for sleeping on time, waking up on time, eating moderately, not overeating. So because of the regulated life, they are happy, quite happy. They keep their life very simple. And not for 1 or 2 days, for decades. They can do that, regulated. And then they are knowledgeable because they study vastly and deeply also. Therefore, they can bring appropriate quotes. I've seen many, many devotees like that. So uh, that's why this goodness thing, we should take a snapshot of it in our mind. Keep it. Learn to be like this, thoughtful, regulated, knowledgeable. And the last two are dangerous aspects of goodness. Happy to the point of self-complacency. Sometimes they are so self-satisfied that they don't have a missionary drive. They may not want to distribute books, go out and give out the holy name or prasadam. They feel that, we have a temple, people can always come. Why should we go out and distribute books and everything? We have a book stall here. If somebody wants, they'll come and buy. People say like that. So they are not having that inner drive to go because they feel that reading, chanting, hearing is more joyful. Some people have this yatra tendency. That's another problem. Yatra tendency means, every month they have to go to two yatras. 3 days here, 3 days there, going to holy place. Some people are so religious, huh? Going to temple, ringing a bell, putting chandan, kumkum, circumambulating 108 times. These things they will do. But they don't think about the other suffering souls in the world. So, and to think of themselves better than others, that's another danger. Sometimes they think I can recite the shlokas very perfectly. Other fellows don't know the pronunciation. Or sometimes they think that, oh, you don't know that information. I think you are not so well read. I know it. I will tell you which acharya says what. So by this, what happens? They can become proud. Yeah. So pride then takes them to Rajoguna. Complacency takes them to Tamaguna. So from Sattva also, Krishna says we can come down sometimes. So these are. So this is a very important slide. Okay. Lastly, how can some of the practical tips for grihasthas to be steady? They do deity worship. They should hear the Srimad Bhagavatam regularly. They should chant in the company of devotees. And they should regularly hear the pastimes of the Lord for a prolonged period of time. Like that, Narada Muni says in the 7th canto, 14th chapter. Grihastha should hear for long hours the pastimes of the Lord, and it will sink in their hearts and they will become advanced. Why I am saying grihasthas? Because Yudhishthira Maharaj was a grihastha. He asked a question to Narada that I am a grihamudadhi. How I can become awakened to full-blown knowledge of Krishna consciousness? That time Narada says that. So let us proceed further. So these things we have already revised. Okay, from here we will start. Okay, ask for a question. Prabhu?
Question should we take it there?
Question, how many we have? 16 questions. Really? Acha. Okay, quickly started. Yeah. You can read fast. Yeah.
I think you answered this first question. Hare Krishna Prabhuji Pranam. Prabhuji, many times we see devotees are visiting Dham and doing frequent yatras. Looking at them, desire of visiting Dham urges in our mind. How can we understand this desire to be? Is it also it comes under Vasana?
See, Narmada Thakur condemns going for too many yatras. He says that this is simply mental speculation and sense gratification, he says. Because most people who go for yatra, they want to see new places which they have not seen before. Let us go to this dham, we have not been there. Something new somewhere. Actually, going to new places, meeting new people, seeing new things, getting to know different things, they can tell others that I know this, you are not aware of this. So this is also some kind of mental hyperactivity, he says. I have the verse also. It's there in one of the purports of Prabhupada. Actually, dham, how should we go to dham? Like it is said, Gaura amara sesabastana koralo brahmana range sesabastana herivoami pranayi bhakata sange. He says, we should go in the association of pranayi, loving the servitors of the Lord, who can narrate pastimes which happened in that place. And such great souls will sit in that place and chant more holy names, absorb themselves. One time I went with Krishna and Prabhu to Siddhabakul. And then we went around and then he sat under the tree and he gave katha for a couple of hours. After that we thought we will proceed. Then he said, let us chant a few rounds. He said, the few rounds, well, it was 32 rounds, few rounds. So practically the half a day went off. That only. I said, Prabhuji, what about other places? He said, no need to just go around, let us sit and chant. So therefore we need such devotees to take us for yatra. People will run away. Isn't it? Okay, next.
Yeah. True. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Varishta Vaishnavas feel neglected in ISKCON temples. He said that
Vaishnavas?
feel neglected in ISKCON temples. At least in Bangalore, he says.
Can come to Pune, we will add you as a, we have a Bhakti Vedanta Vanaprastha Sangha, we have. We have for Prabhuji is also, Mataji is also, and then they can come for 3-day camp to Pune and then come back to Bangalore and serve here. We do 3-day camp every 3 months, we do. Next. Actually, I feel very strongly you can start it in Bangalore also, because Bangalore and Mysore are near. Many of the retired people go to Mysore. It has become a place for settlement. Once you start here, they won't go there. They'll stay here and do same.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's true. Maybe their inability to serve like before, nor any responsibility according to their capacity is not available nor given to them. In that case, how can they keep Krishna consciousness alive without practical service? How you engage them in practical service in Pune or elsewhere, so that you could answer the question.
Actually, there are many Vanaprasthas whose body is not so strong. They give Charanamrit. They give flowers during the Guru Puja time. Some of them sit in the laddu table where they sell laddu for 2-3 hours in a day. They do that. Some of them sit in the book table and they don't have to move their hands legs much. Just sit in the book table. Somebody comes say a few words about the books. And also Vanaprasthas are elderly people. One of them is like 80 plus. He can talk to children, can talk to girls, he can talk to boys, can talk to married people. Everybody respects him. He just has to sit and talk to them a few minutes and ask them for the WhatsApp number. Just fill it up here. I'll put you in a course or something. They can do a lot of service. Sitting services, there are many sitting services. Yeah.
2 questions connected to Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya is to be applied for preaching and pleasing the senses of Supreme Personality Godhead. However, we see Yukta Vairagya is applied also for using Krishna in one's mundane sense gratification, such as celebrating wedding anniversary or etc. etc. How do we educate the right principle of Yukta Vairagya in the community?
Actually, before Yukta Vairagya, we need Vairagya first. Little Vairagya is not there. Yukta Vairagya would be eyewash. For example, I had gone for one program. I know that it was the Ekadashi day, evening time. So after I had chanted all day that day, and then evening I went for the program. And the prasadam was so opulent, it was 14 items. And I asked the organizer, I think by mistake I chanted today. Is Ekadashi today or tomorrow? I asked. They said, this is Ekadashi Prasad only, they said. Oh, really? Ekadashi Prasad, you can make 14 items on Ekadashi day? So they said, no, Prabhu, there is not a single grain. Without grain we have made. But then the goal of Ekadashi day is defeated. Ekadashi is supposed to be a day, like if you go to Udupi, they put a big lock to the kitchen. They don't open the kitchen only. Most of them don't take fruits also. What to speak of? In the name of Ekadashi, we should not cheat ourselves. So somebody can be a falahari that day. Somebody can be a dugdahari. Somebody can be eating 1 time in a day. Somebody can eat twice also. But eat very little. Actually, if you eat a lot, then you can't chant that day. You'll go to sleep. So in the name of Yukta Vairagya, people are, I know that there are some devotees, the jiva always has a propensity for sense gratification, whether it in eating habits or anything else, in the name of Yukta Vairagya. Like one fellow got a big car. He said, Prabhu, I got this car only for my Guru Maharaj Seva. He said, but Guru Maharaj, when he comes once in a year or once in 2 years, he comes. And when Guru Maharaj came here, he was abroad for his job. His car was sitting at home. So some people say that, I already have one car, but this additional big car I got so that I can serve Guru Maharaj. At least I told him, at least you are saying that it is good. So many times in the name of Yukta Vairagya, people also take a bigger house saying that, Prabhu, I think if I take a big house with a big hall, then we can do programs. They say like that. But they take a big house, they have a big hall, but they don't conduct program. And I ask them why. Prabhuji, my father is little old, mother is little sick, they don't like the noise or something, they say. And then, but then the house comes, big house. They don't use it in Krishna service. So, one thing, if somebody is cheating in the name of Yukta Vairagya, they will suffer the consequences. They won't be able to benefit in advancing. For example, I am using a laptop. I am a Sadhu Baba using a laptop. But if I use it only for Krishna service, then people who benefit from this light show, they will also benefit and I will also benefit. But if I am using it for watching video games, then I will degrade. Huh? In the name of Yukta Vairagya, I say, State Temple, give me a laptop so that I can use it in Krishna service and I use it in Maya service. Then I will go down. So it's a very simple fact it is. Yeah, next.
Same connection. Another devotee is asking, in the past time when Sanatan Goswami asked the Brahmana to throw away the touchstone in the river, why didn't Sanatan Goswami give the touchstone to some devotee who will use the stone in Krishna service? Like building temples. Prasadam.
See, I heard that our His Holiness Bhakti Vignan Maharaj was giving a class in Calcutta. I attended the class also. So he was telling that in Bangladesh there was one chocolate Baba. Huh? So this Baba had the ability to, he would do like this. Immediately a packet of chocolate will come in his hand and he used to give to people. So one ISKCON devotee became interested on how to produce chocolate by some magic mantra. So he went to that Baba's ashram and stayed 3 months. Faithfully served him, washed his clothes, massaged his feet, applied oil for him, cooked for him, everything. After 3 months, one day he offered namaskar to Baba and said, Baba, are you happy with my seva? He said, oh yes, he said. Please kindly teach me how to produce chocolate. So Baba said, that one thing I can't teach anybody. He said, you ask me any other boon I can give. If you know this, then you will become better than me. He said. So then that fellow returned after that. So Maharaj was telling, this devotee was telling that I actually somehow or other wanted to learn that so that I can use it in Krishna service. Maharaj said, once chocolate comes from your hand, you'll start a chocolate shop. You won't be preaching, using it for preaching. So we may say that I'll take the parsimony and use in Krishna service, but you will make so much gold that you will get entangled. That is why it's not good for devotees. There is one story of Jagannathas Babaji. One very big landlord gave him a coin. He accepted the coin, and then Bihari, who would take him on the basket. So he went with him some distance. After a couple of kilometers, he told him to stop and said, please take a U-turn and go back. So he went back and gave the coin back to him and said, right now I don't have any use for this. Whenever I need in future, that time Krishna will arrange it. For the time being, you keep it back. He gave it back to him, it is said. So, which goes to show that we should not unnecessarily accept money from others unless we can use it properly in Krishna service. Yeah.
While doing seva, in due course of time, we focus on completing it. Neither heart is involved.
We focus on
completing it. While doing seva, focus is complete.
Yeah.
Neither heart is involved nor any progress in bhakti. Please give me practical tips to involve our heart in doing seva.
In the beginning, our service is more only with the body. Mind doesn't come. It's only with the body. Nothing wrong in that. At least you are engaging your body. Earlier you were engaging body for sense gratification. Now at least you are engaging body for seva. That's good beginning it is. And then as we engage the body in service, as we get little more purified, then slowly the mind will also join. Mind will come. And the mind, when does it come? When we develop affection for the service awarder. When we, for example, this particular senior devotee gave me the service. He's such a nice devotee. I want to please this devotee, and I want to do this service also very meticulously. So there are people who very, very attentively do it. Then the mind comes. Otherwise, if you are thinking that I will do this service and become a famous devotee, then you don't care a fig about your senior. Then in that case, only body is involved. Some other complete and show that I have done it. Correct? Yeah.
We read pastimes that Asuras did tapasya with full focus and determination for thousands of years to achieve something.
Even now, don't you see, there are many, many business magnates nowadays, how focused they are at their business. Don't you see that? They are so, see the Olympics, so many different type of sportsmen, sportswomen, are they not very focused? It is not that materialists cannot focus. Materialists actually do a lot of austerities. Like for example, singers avoid ice cream. And there are many Mallyuddha performing people, wrestlers, they follow strict brahmacharya for 6 months or 1 year before they go for the Dual fight. Because for dual fight, you need reflex action. The reflex action is not possible if one is attracted to sex life. So to give a swift action back, 6 months they practice strict celibacy also. So you will find that many of the achievers in this world, they do tremendous sacrifice. You see the IIT, JEE, mains, those who are doing 7th, 8th standard, they start the study. And day and night they study how many hours to get into IIT. Some of them, if they slightly miss it, next year again they give, one more attempt they make it. So it's nothing wonderful. The tapasya is done by both, those who are suras and asuras. But the purpose is important. Tapo divyam, Krishna says, Rishabhdev says, tapo divyam. Divine tapasya should be done.
The question is, why is it difficult for us as devotees to focus?
The reason is
during
we are like a ghost which is jumping between sense gratification and Krishna. Like this. The reason is, see, earlier we were very fixed in material life. But now we know that material life is useless. So we are trying to come to spiritual life, but we don't have sufficient realization in the spiritual platform. So we are here and we jump little bit, try here, it's difficult. Then we come. Again, we are going like this, back and forth. Yeah, yes. But eventually a stage will come and we will jump to this side and not go to that side. At that time, we will get full concentration. So there are 5 A's, attraction, attention, attachment, absorption, affection. So let me say one word about this. Attraction means little attraction in spiritual life is the beginning. That little attraction leads to attention. Attentively we do devotional service. That leads to attachment. Attachment is a big achievement. If one has developed attachment for some seva, if you develop attachment for kirtans, attachment for Bhagavatam, attachment to deities, attachment to devotees is very valuable. From that stage, it leads to absorption. Like if you keep an ink pen on a blotting paper, just absorbs. Or a sponge dipped in water, absorbs like that. That is very big achievement that follows attachment. And absorption means what you heard a class that lingers in the mind. You are like sometimes you have experience, you heard a kirtan, that keeps lingering in the mind. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this we heard in 91, and this tune entered the heart so deeply. Even after I left the temple and went to college, it was again and again haunting in the mind, same tune again and again, until I came the next week to the temple. So how many of you experienced some Hare Krishna tune haunted you? Correct? That's absorption. Correct, no? And then from the absorption comes affection. Affection, the 5th item. Affection means Divyonmada. That is a very deep thing. Yes.
One Mataji is asking, how to maintain steadiness in sadhana? Sometimes our enthusiasm comes down when health and family issues come.
Okay, I would suggest you can just put Radhesham Das, consistency, you put. Consistency is that's one. There are two or three videos on consistency, how to steadily perform sadhana. That will be one. Another one, you can hear one lecture called Sadhana with Bhavana. There also we talk on this. Next.
Another Grasa is asking, Prabhuji, what are the qualifications to take sannyas? Will ISKCON benefit from a grahastha over 60 years age taking sannyas? We have brahmacharya ashrams in Chowpatty, Pune. Why doesn't ISKCON have sannyas ashramas?
Yeah, actually, His Holiness Ranath Maharaj, in one of the meetings with senior devotees, he told us that sannyas is not necessary, he said. Sannyas is necessary only for preaching purpose. He said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at that time, he brought a very valuable message to give to the world, but people were not accepting him. Then he thought, if I take sannyas, at that time there was a madness for sannyasis. Anybody is sannyasi with a danda, lots of people would gather. Then Mahaprabhu used it as a tool to reach message to people. So he asked all 4 or 5 of us were there. 5 of us were there with Maharaj. He asked, is there any one of you guys not getting enough preaching opportunity? We said, Maharaj, we are foaming in the mouth. Now we are beyond the nose. So many invitations we have to deny. We cannot go. Then what is the need for sannyas? He asked. There's no need. He said, look at Jananivas Prabhu, Pankajangar Prabhu, he told us. They never took sannyas. And another second thing he asked us, do you think only because you have a danda people respect you? People respect you for what you are, not because simply you carry a stick and frighten people. You don't need, he said. And he said, each of you, how much respect people give you, how much affection you get, how much adoration you get, how much opportunities you get. So you are already getting what a sannyasi should be getting. So you don't have to, take this. Another thing he told about it, he said, the moment you become a sannyasi, he said, you will become lonely. He said, nobody will be ready to offer you any feedback or correction, because people will offer a big obeisances from a distance and go away. Nobody will come near. Right now, you are simple, you have a lot of friends, you are very friendly with many devotees, and people open up to you. And, people consider you one of them. But once you take sannyas, there is too much of respect, he said. And another thing, he said, generally, if a devotee is practicing sincerely for many years, say 2-3 decades, if the devotee is given sannyas, then people take notice of that person. Otherwise, people don't respect just the number of years. So for some people, it's like that. Some or other, they were not in a prominent position. How many of you experienced? Somebody was a normal devotee. Everybody normally saw him. But the moment he takes danda and sannyas and travels, many people think he's a very big person, and then they take advantage of his association. That's the actual purpose of sannyas, he was telling. But if you already have abundant opportunities for preaching and your time is well engaged in Krishna service, what is the need for sannyas? So therefore, he told us, you be brahmachari for life, he said. I said, and he asked us, is there any one of you little keen that you want to take sannyas? We said, no. You tell us to carry a stick, we will carry a stick. You tell us to not carry a stick, we won't carry. We are your disciples. You tell us what you want us to do. So if you want us to be brahmachari for life, and we will be like that. He said, then he said, okay. So
what about 60 plus years old grahastha taking sannyas? What are the qualifications?
No, you have to ask him, why do you want to take sannyas? That's the purpose you have to ask him. You tell him, Sat means truth, which is Krishna. But Nyas means give up. That means giving up everything for the sake of serving Krishna. That is called Sat Nyas. Sat Kilinyas. He says, Sannimitte varam tyago vinashe niyate sati. He says, Chanakya says this. He says, Dhanani jivitam chaiva pararte prajna utsrijet. Satnimitte varam tyago vinashe niyate sati. You can tell this devotee, Dhanani, first give all the wealth to ISKCON, what you have. Jivitam chaiva, come and stay in the temple. Para arte, for what? For Radha Vinod's pleasure. Para arte, for the Lord's pleasure. Sat nimitte, then you are already a sannyas if you do this. Give all your wealth and come and stay in the temple and do service all day. You can be considered as a sannyasi. You don't need a saffron and a danda. Yeah, yes. Go ahead. I don't know whether the devotee will run away. Here it is. Dhanani, all the wealth you have to give to the others. We don't possess anything for our own. Yeah. Next.
So the question is, yesterday you were talking about demigod worship, varnashram and all. How the today's lecture was related to the topic?
Today?
Shaky to study. Like yesterday's lecture, how was it related to shaky to study?
Oh, right. Right now we are talking about shaky situation only. Study will, actually there are 5 PPTs. So first 2-3 PPTs start from here. Like for example, when you are in Varnashrama, then Varnashrama to mixed devotion. Then mixed devotion to pure devotion. And in pure devotion also gradually you go from Kanishta, Madhyam, Uttam. So all these are considered shaky states. They are not steady. The steady is from Nishtha onwards, where anarthas are nil. So in the future PPTs, we will be talking about what are the anarthas also. They will come. So if any of you is curious to know all the 5 PPTs, it's available. You can just say Radhisham Das Shaky to study, you say. You will get all the 5 lectures and 5 PPTs also. You can, only we are not able to cover all of them. It would take 5 days. Each 2 hours it will take. But although it takes time, I thought it is really worth it because subject is very nicely explained.
I wanted to know how you have remained so steady.
Actually, many people must have expected what in this topic, shaky to study. Currently, my life is a bit unstable in sadhana. Prabhuji will tell us something, how to become quickly steady. If you want to know that, then you go for that lecture, consistency. You just put Radhe Shamdas, consistency, a couple of lectures here, there, you will get that. This is more deep. Yeah.
I wanted to know how you have remained so steady in devotional service for over 30 years, despite holding so many positions and posts and possibly facing challenges in management. How is it that you have never, you were never disturbed by these things? Could you please share some personal examples you have encountered in Krishna consciousness?
Yeah. Actually, with some 4 principles my Spiritual Master taught me in the very early days. The first one is uncompromising sadhana. He said, as a leader, many leaders will get carried away by the workload and management load, but you should, he said, look at me, I daily sit in front of Prabhupada and I do japa. So don't compromise on your morning program, no matter what, he said. Even if the World War III comes, no problem, still chant. So uncompromising sadhana, 4:30 to 9:30. That was one thing he said. Because he said that is your foundation, that is going to give you strength in spiritual life to do great things. He said, it's like the root of a tree or foundation of a building. Very vital, he said. Second thing he said, invest time in people. He said, don't invest time in fundraising. Don't invest time in construction. Don't invest time in problem solving. Invest time in people, he said. Which means train the leaders and they will do everything else. You don't have to be expert in bringing money or construction or running the Govindas, all these things. He said, you get the people, make devotees and then drill them, train them in the path of devotion service. Once they become stable, pakka devotees, they will do everything. And that's what I did in Pune. All my time, I give considerable time for leaders training program. Then he said, those who have white collar services like you, those are taking leadership, we should do menial services. Like for example, book distribution or deity worship or serving prasad or cleaning, washing, just to be one of the devotees. You don't have 2 horns on your head just because you are a leader. So you are also one of the devotees. And do services like others, be with devotees. So by doing menial services, he said, you will be level-headed and you will not become proud. That was third thing he said. Then fourth thing he said, always practice simplicity. He said, so saralata hi vaishnavata. Simplicity in dressing, simplicity in speech, straightforwardness. And don't chase after post or position or privileges. We don't need post, we just need service. In our life, we should aspire only for seva. Whether post comes or not is immaterial. So whenever I send devotees to any other temple, I tell those authorities, Prabhu, I'm giving these devotees to you with the dhoti and kurta. After 10 years, you are unhappy with them. You just send them back to me with the same dhoti kurta. That's all. And I will not claim anything in your temple. We have sent devotees to more than 12, 15 temples. But in all those places, I told the leaders that if you have any problem with the devotees whom I am sending, you are unhappy, you are free to give them back to me. I will accept them, number one. Number two, I am not giving them with any condition that you should give them some post or position or privilege. If you just keep them as menial servants, preaching, cleaning, washing, worshipping deity all their life, I have no problem. And sometimes we send people, those temples, they gave them post and position without even asking me. Because they say, no, why do you say we should not give? They are very qualified. We want to give them some department and things like that. It's up to them. So we don't aspire for it. We don't crave for it. We don't lobby around for it. We are here for service. Even like, for example, I became president in 1997. Many people announce it. Till date, I don't have any letter which my GBC or Bureau or Guru Maharaj gave that, Radhe Sham, 1997, we are making you president. Here is the appointment order for you. I neither got it, nor I am very much keen about getting it. Why? Because I am serving not because I am president. I am serving because I am supposed to serve. But naturally, I am one of the, my Guru Maharaj told me you serve, so I serve. That's all. But nowadays, many people who are given some post in some ISKCON, they will ask the bureau, better you give me a letter. Because tomorrow somebody will come and occupy my post. So Maharaj said, you don't have to fight with this kind of things. So he was also like that, and he also taught me to be like that. keep simplicity. Huh? So these are 4 principles he taught. So, and also I've seen people like Radha Gopinath Prabhu, Shyamanand Prabhu, Sanat Kumar Prabhu. These people, they are very simple people. They're very exalted, very advanced in their realizations. Huh? But when you look at them, they will look like Goswamis. Huh? Very simple people. Mm. They are unassuming in their character. So I actually was right under their lotus feet in Bombay, 91 to 95. Huh? 4 years or so. I have seen them very closely. I have been with Radha Gopinath Prabhu for Harinam Sankirtan many times. I have been with him for Food for Life also many times. And I've been with His Holiness Bhakti Samat Maharaj for programs. I personally attended his program many. And Sanat Kumar Prabhu taught how to do management in a Krishna conscious way and how to be determined in the chanting of the holy name. So, and fixity. So many things I learned. Actually, we all have many nice seniors to learn from. We learn from them. Next.
Prabhuji, what has kept you going for so many years with so much dedication in your service?
As you answer, I answered just now.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah. I think some are related. Prabhuji, you were talking about not being overly dependent on work that a devotee does.
Correct.
How can we avoid becoming overly dependent, especially if you're working in an IT company?
See, there's a difference between becoming dependent and becoming overly. Why the word overly is used there? For example, somebody is working in a company, there is an opportunity for a promotion. What all people do for getting promotion, they will lobby around to get the promotion. They will put soap to their boss and give, to get the promotion. What all drama they do. That is becoming overly dependent, yeah. So you can do the job. For example, in my company, my boss will give me 1 week to do the computer program. And I'll finish it in 3 days only. Then for following days, I will do reading Prabhupada books. I have my cabin, I have my time. But I will not give the result immediately. Because if you give the result, they will know my speed. So after 3 days, what I will do, after 2 more days, instead of 7 days, I will give it in the 5th day. So my boss would say, good boy, I gave you 7 days, you finished in 5 days, but I actually finished in 3 days only. So in this way, I had time for my Krishna consciousness, and I was not hankering for immediate promotion or something like that. Boss was still very happy. So he told me, I will send you to Germany. He said, really? I wasn't planning. But he said, no, you are finishing the job so quickly. So after you complete 2 years, I want to send to Germany. I said, what in Germany? He said, you can do the same program for the German pumps. There are varieties of pumps we have, he said. After you come back from Germany, 2 years, be in India, and then I'll send you to Australia. What is that in Australia? I said, Australian pumps. So by that time, after two years, I left the company. Instead of seeing the pumps, now I thought I can see Radha Madhav in Mayapur, Radha Shyam Sundar in Vrindavan. Instead of seeing pumps here, pumps there, I can see Radha Krishna everywhere. So the point is, you overly dependent means becoming greedy, becoming obsessed, becoming, it's like a person thinks that everything is in my hands only now. He doesn't depend on the divine intervention. He doesn't think about, he's not having a mentality of let go. And, he is overly obsessed. That's why he become overly dependent. Like, for example, a man marries a woman and husband, wife. It's natural for husband, wife to have affection for each other. But if a man becomes overly attached to wife, he'll become controlled by his wife. Like you see, Pururava became attached to Urvashi. You can see that. And our Uttanapad became attached to Suruchi. Therefore, Suruchi could lord over him. Correct, no? But affection of a husband for wife is never condemned. That's very natural. Affection is not condemned. What is condemned? Attachment. What is the difference between the two? Dhritarashtra, was he attached to Duryodhana or was he affectionate to Duryodhana? Attached. So because he was attached, Duryodhana could make him dance like a play dog. He could control his father. So overly dependent means attached. Yeah, next.
How to become steady in devotional service when one's material life is hampered? Example, job problem.
Acha. Actually, the material world, Prabhupada says, material world is a place where, uncertainties are quite common, he says. Huh? Like in an ocean wave, if any of you think, I want to sit peacefully in an ocean wave, like you are sitting now, and you say, ocean wave means always it will topple you. Material world is a place, Prabhupada says, danger must be there because you have put yourself in a dangerous position, he says. So don't expect smooth sailing in the material world. That is Prabhupada writes in Bhagavad Gita, one of the purports. So don't expect things to be normal. There will be challenges, like Ajendra had challenge in the waters. So how to be steady in that? So what we should do, have I done my best to the best of my ability? We should check it. Say, for example, a boy lost the job now, for example, somebody. So now he has applied for 100 jobs in different places. And he also has consulted his relatives for some opportunity for jobs. He has also written to his friends, please recommend my name for a job in your company. He has written to friends, spoken to relatives, and he also has registered himself for doing some additional course to qualify himself. The additional course he is doing. Apart from that, he has applied for 100 jobs. Can he do anything more than this? And after that, you should practice spiritual life peacefully, with the understanding that I have done my best. Now, whatever has to happen, now I have some savings in the bank. So I will use that money till I get the next job. And he need not worry. When he has to worry, when he is not doing his duty, then he has to worry. Do your duty. Therefore, we say, do your best and not leave the rest. Let Krishna do the rest. That is important. So do your best and let Krishna do the rest. Where there is a will, Krishna shows the way. Huh? Krishna actually only does. He says, rest of it is done with, I sow the seed, Lord is the rains. Similarly, I have done my part, rest of it Krishna will do. Next.
When anarthas like anger and lust shakes our devotional service, how to be steady in bhakti?
Yeah. So, that's a 3-step process. Whenever you are shaken up by lust or anger, the first thing, you pause and observe and reflect. Or think. So, this is a pot formula, we call it. Pause, observe, think. So, we don't pause, that's a problem. Whenever there is an anger or any other provocation coming in our life, you pause for a moment. You don't proceed headlong in that direction. And observe your own mind. Is it proper thought? What's coming in my mind? How should I act? That's the first thing. And secondly, we take a deep breath. Why? Because taking a deep breath completely changes the state of mind. You can try that anytime. For example, if a lusty thought attacks the mind, you plug both your nose and make sure you keep the mouth also tightly closed. Otherwise, you will close the nose, you will release the air from the mouth. You close it for 3 minutes, mind will come running. It cannot go for lusty activities. It will come running. Hey, it appears you're going to kill me now. So, if you plug your nose tightly for 2 to 3 minutes, mind will immediately come running. Take a deep breath like that. And then focus on, the spiritual item which you are focusing, which is chanting. Correct, no? When you're chanting the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You are focusing, mind went to some lusty thought. Plug your nose. And when mind comes running, tell the mind, you rascal, hear this. Not that. Get this. Why are you degraded? And then thirdly, now you have understood the state of mind. It is not very pure. Currently, the mind is going here, going there to dirty activities. I have understood that I am not so advanced. So then we have to focus on higher activities for uplifting the consciousness. So after the chanting is over, make a plan that I should hear some lecture on what is lust and how to overcome lust. I had spoken one lecture called Overcoming Mental AIDS. Lust is called as what AIDS? Mental AIDS. Or it will be there in the website, mental AIDS if you put. So Chetan Chanpu once had written an article on lust being a mental AIDS, because AIDS reduces your immunity, correct? No? Similarly, lust actually completely handicaps your intelligence also completely. Avritam jnanametena jnanino nittavairena, he says. Kamarupena kaunte dushparananlencha. So then the third step is read about it in Prabhupada books, hear lectures on it, meet advanced devotees and ask them how they would deal in such situations. So that's the third step. So remember this, what's the first step I told you? What is what? Pause, observe, think, and then reflect. And then that will give you a clue about what is happening to you. If you don't pause and think, mind will catch you by the neck and take you in the wrong direction. And secondly, what I said, deep breathing and close the breath, and then bring the mind to the focus on the holy name, correct? No? And then the third, of course, holy name means when you're chanting. So night you are lying down, as soon as you lie down, dirty thoughts flood the mind. Many people say that. Therefore, what one should do, one should keep some very nice soothing kirtan that you like very much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So when you hear like this, these kind of tunes, this deeply sink in your mind. Especially when you're going to sleep, hear it again and again and again it goes. And then you close your eyes and go to sleep. You don't even know when you went to sleep. That kind of hearing a sweet holy name. And then it will absorb in your mind. Next day morning you get up, it will still be ringing in the mind. So absorb your mind in pure holy name. And morning when you get up, hear something like Karavalamba Stotram is there, Narsimha. As soon as you get up, sometimes the mind, the Chinese have researched and found, the first thought in the early morning is always one of fear, depression, and inauspicious thoughts, they're saying. Because we are living in a world of fear. So as soon as you get up, immediately put some Lakshmi, Narsinga, Mamadehi. Or therefore in those days people used to put Kaushalya, Supraja, Rama, Purva, Sandhya, Pravartaja, correct, no? Uttishta Narashardula, Trailokyam, Mangalam Kuru. So Lord is coming to create Mangalam in all the three worlds. Don't unnecessarily foolishly get depressed. You tell me, man, correct? So that's why everywhere in homes you will find in the morning either that Venkateswara Prabhatam or the Vishnu Sahasranama. Because early morning we should pray that all fear will be driven away. Yes, next.
How to cooperate when several gurus, disciples in one temple?
How to cooperate?
With several gurus, disciples in one temple.
Acha, you have problem with only other gurus, disciples? Problem is not out there. Problem is inside here. First you will quarrel with other guru's disciple, then you will quarrel with your own guru's disciple, then you will have a confusion about your own decision. Your head will be split into two. Ye karna, ye karna. All the problem is inside. Prahlad Maharaj said, problem is in your mind, my dear father. There is no enemy out there. Actually, your friend and enemy is based on your sense gratification. I will give you a challenging question. Say, there is another guru's disciple in a particular temple, and he gives you a post, and he gives you privileges, he gives you a car, he gives you a separate cabin. And that is your own same guru's disciple is pulling your leg. He is trying to get you out of the post and sit in your place. Now ask yourself, who will be your friend? Who will be your enemy? Your friendship is based on your sense gratification. Whoever gives me sense gratification, he is my friend. Whoever pulls my leg, he is my enemy. So this is my guru, your guru and all is simply eyewash. Guru is only one. Just like if you have a stainless steel cylinder full of milk, you may have 8 taps. Different people are opening tap and taking milk in a glass, but the milk is same milk. Similarly, 8 different gurus are all like different taps, but the milk is the pure message which Krishna is giving. The Visan Sarva Upanishadu Gavo, Dugda Gopal Nandana, Partho Vacha Sudhir Bhokta, Dugdam Gitamritamat. I literally don't see any difference between gurus at all. Not only Diksha gurus. I also have deep respect for many Shiksha Gurus because Shiksha Guru, we have made these rubber stamps. Ultimately, Guru is only one, which is Krishna. Krishna Mande. And that Krishna is manifesting through the mouths of millions of Vaishnavas all over the universes. Whichever Vaishnava, even my junior, some junior devotee is speaking a powerful message, I consider him my Guru. You know, in the 11th canto, there are 24 Gurus. He could learn from so many people. So actually, we have a very, very stereotyped idea. If somebody is wearing yellow brigade and white, he's a Kanishta Adhikari. Somebody is wearing saffron, he's a Madhyam Adhikari. Somebody has a Danda, he's Uttam Adhikari. This is your definition. Such a foolish definition Jiva has. Yeah. Similarly, my Guru, your Guru, Mame Tutu, this kind of thing is called as Ayam Nija Paroveti Gananam Lagu Chetasam Udara Charitanam Tu Vasudha Eva Kutumbakam. So, in this way, he says that there are mean-minded people who see mine and yours, but broad-minded people know that ultimately all Jivas are Krishna's children. The compartmentalization that we have made is due to our own narrow-mindedness. Next.
Last one. If someone gives up Krishna consciousness, can our prayers help them to come back to Krishna? Or it depends on their free will?
We can definitely pray. Yeah. And you can also try to do something more than prayer alone. You can try to go and meet them and give them some prasad. Ask them what is the problem, why they left. You can try to help also. If you are so concerned about it, offer prayers to the Lord and go and try to help them also. Then, what is the time now? Time is over now. I don't think we'll be able to do part 2 today. Maybe next time when I come. But you have these recordings available.
If somebody has some questions here, can we take?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
This is about the demigod worship, Prabhuji. One of my cousin, he's a Sri Vaishnava. He went to some Sri Vaishnava sect. Of late, he has been sending messages ridiculing Prabhupada's purports. I generally avoid. Of late, he sent one video where he's saying Prabhupada has wrongly translated demigods like that.
No, they are angry with the word demi. They say demigod should be devata, they say. Scriptures say devata only. Actually, in what way? See, Prabhupada has coined several words to help us understand the actual situation. For example, where will we find the word Supreme Personality of Godhead? Correct, no? See, the word Godhead means there are many gods and head of all of them is Krishna. And the word personality means he has a form. Correct, no? And Supreme means he is the Ekala Ishvara Krishna Arasava Bhritya, like that. So he helped us to understand Krishna's true position. Correct, no? Because there are many personality of Godheads. But Krishna is the Supreme amongst them also. So, in the same manner, when the Shastras talk about the Ye Panya Devata Bhakta, it says, Yajante. And then Krishna says, Kamaistasya Hritajnana Prapadyante Anya Devata. Tam tam niyamamastaya prakritya niyatasvaya. So, these devatas are all assisting hands of the Lord. So, when Prabhupada uses the word demigod, he is not the supreme. He is subordinate. That's the meaning of that. But people think demigod means dummy god. He is not saying that. But they are thinking demigod to be dummy god. That is their own concoction. You can tell him demigod is not dummy god. Demigod is assistant to the Supreme God.
That video he was saying Yaksha means demigod. It seems not.
What is that, Yaksha?
Yakshas are demigods. It seems not the.
Okay, you ask him, okay, what about all this Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu? Who are they? How will he translate Devata to be?
Devata, Deva only it seems.
No. Deva is Sanskrit word. In English I am asking.
Actually, there in that video also, Prabhuji, he was he was saying one of the meaning of Deva is somebody who has inherited a post for a certain period of time.
Correct.
So demigod is also the same definition, isn't it? I don't know why they're having so much.
Many of them have a wrong notion and they think that all gods are one. There is one Supreme Brahman who manifests in different forms, like, for example, Panchapasaks. Panchapasaks thing. There is no difference between Shiva, Vishnu, Ganesha, Shakti, and Surya. They think that in all these externally differently looking forms, there is only one Brahman. So that is Mayavad. That is impersonalism. So they will be angry that why are you saying one is inferior, one is superior? But Shastras clearly make this demarcation. One studies all the Shastras. There is a Tamasic Puranas, Rajasic Puranas, Sattvic Puranas. If you go to the Tamasic Puranas, they have great praises for the different devatas and all. And then as you go higher and higher, you will see that Lord Vishnu's role is all pervading. He's there everywhere. He's beyond them and he is within this universe also. He's beyond also. Actually, those who ridicule acharyas and all, they are preparing for a ghastly future. They are fools. And there is not a dearth of any such fools in this world. Fools are more actually. It's a fool's paradise. So one man writing to you is no wonder. There are many fools who write such things. There is one organization which says Sanatana Dharma or something. Decoded, we have defeated Prabhupada. I came to know what these people do. They dress up their people like ISKCON devotees, wearing this type of tilak, and then they put them on one side and they make weak arguments and they defeat them and they try to send it to millions of people. Later on, we found out that all the fellows are doing drama within their organization only. If they get actual ISKCON devotees, they will have to run away. For example, even this Zakir Naik, all his arguments were taken by one of the Russian devotees. He gave point by point by point, rebuttal. I mean, he refuted all those points. Yeah. And also there are good number of South Indians, who may be coming from Sri Vaishnava or Madhva Sampradaya because they have some leaning and attachment to that Sampradaya. At the same time, they have read Prabhupada's books. So they have a little, some kind of difficulty in their identity. Yeah? They have some appreciation in Prabhupada's movement because it's a missionary movement. We are spreading all over the world. They like it. At the same time, they have leaning and attraction for their own Sampradaya. So some of them are like semi-baked. So the semi-baked people will keep on talking the same thing like a tape recorder. Same thing. They will tell you, they will tell him, they will tell everybody. They are like semi-baked cookies. Fully not baked. You have seen mango, one side orange, one side green. They are like that only. Anyway, if they really are serious about what they are talking, they will not be ridiculing. Serious people don't ridicule. They don't waste their time. They will go to qualified people, ask question, get the answer and become enlightened. And those people who are very insecure about their own position, they are like the foolish dog who is laughing at an elephant. One time a dog was here, an elephant was walking, there was a river in between. And the elephant, how majestic it is, with the ears, moving the ears. He was walking like dang, dong. He was walking like this with his trunk. And the dog was barking all the while. They both are walking like this. And the elephant crossed the bridge and came to this side. Now the dog became very afraid. He was looking behind. Wow, 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 like that he was going. Putting his tail between the 2 feet, he was barking. These people are like that only. The dogs will bark, but the caravan goes on. You just keep going. Actually, I don't attach much importance to these people because they waste our time. Because they are not here to inquire and then apply and grow and benefit. There are so many emails I get, people criticizing. But before sending me the mails, they have sent to hundreds of people across the globe, blaspheming, criticizing, and then they write to you and say, what about this? Now you give an explanation. What they will do is use the explanation to further twist it and send it all over the world. So my response to them is, get lost. Khalanam kantakanam chaiva dvivideva pratikriya upanan mukhabangova durastova visarjanam. Chanakya says, we find a khala, dushta. 2 things you should do. Crush him or throw him far away. Like a kanta on the way. If you get a thorn on the way, crush it so that it cannot hurt anybody. If you cannot crush it, you have to be Kshatriya to crush it. If you are a Brahmana, pick it, throw it far away and you walk your way. That's all. You see your own thing. Because these people are khalas. Khala means they are not interested in correct answer. They are interested in blasphemy. If you say the right thing also, they will twist it, turn it. You will find people like that. There are many. Nowadays, especially in this day and age, many are criticizing Swamis, Maharajas, ISKCON Gurus also. If there is genuinely a flaw in ISKCON Guru and he got down from his position, and many, GBCs are working together. If somebody did some blunder or something like that, they remove them from the position and then they are given some period or whatever. But these people are not here for any such answer. They are simply interested in ridiculing, laughing, blaspheming. So one should keep away from these people. Upeksha one should do because it is taught in the Bhagavatam. What is that verse? What is the famous verse? Ishware tat adineshu balisheshu chachucha prema maitri kripopeksha yakkaroti sa madhyamaha. He says, Ishwar, you develop your love for him. Vaishnavas, make friendship with them. Innocent and non-blasphemous, help them, guide them. And those who are envious, keep away from them. So we follow what Bhagavatam teaches. That's all over. Any other question? Behind you, please give the mic to. And there are two hands up. Please give them.
Prabhuji, whenever we hear lecture,
Yeah.
there will be some application points.
Whenever we hear,
Any lecture,
mic, we can hold it like this. Okay.
okay. Whenever we hear any lecture, there will be application points. So, how to apply that and be consistent with that? And there will be like every day we hear lecture and application. I'm not able to apply. So, can you?
Okay, I will tell you how to apply. It's very easy. You want to cultivate any new habit. There are three-step process. If you want to change your behavior, the first thing is like a watermelon you want to eat, big watermelon. You cut it into slices. Similarly, any good habit you want to learn, you have to have milestones for that. Say, for example, you sleep at 11 every day. Now you want to start sleeping at 9. So how many hours you want to prepone it? 2 hours. And suddenly you cannot do it. So you can make up your mind that coming week, I will sleep at 10:45. And the following week, 10:30. Third week, 10:15. Like that, gradually bring it to 9. This is called milestones. First, you make a plan for yourself. Secondly, you should have some role model of people who do that also. Like in Pune, there is one Mataji. What she does, she has a dozen Matajis with her. So early morning, she will get up at 3:30 and she will make a phone call. And that Mataji will make the second, third, fourth. Finally, the final call will come back to her. That means the loop is complete. So all of them wake up one another like this. But you have to wake up how many people? Only one only. So it's not a big trouble for you. You call her and she calls her. She calls her, like that, it goes around. So every single day she will get the complete round over. If it is not over, that means somebody is still sleeping. Didn't get up. So in this way, you should have a circle of, that's the third thing, circle of peers who all want to do the same thing. Second one is role model. From role model devotees, you get spiritual strength. From peers, you get encouragement. So why do you need peers to do the same thing? For example, you have a desire to study Bhagavatam daily. But on your own, you take the book, you are not getting enthusiasm, sufficient motivation. Then you make a circle of 7, 8 Matajis and tell them that let us read Bhagavatam every day between 1 to 1:30 or something like that. And then you all come on Zoom together. And they are also equally interested like you. And then you can catch one senior lady who is very advanced in Krishna consciousness. Ask her, can you please lead our group? So which means you have a role model and you have peers and you are starting with half an hour, which is reasonable. Some people started with deciding that 1 hour we will read every day and then after some time they stop it. We can even start 15 minutes reading every day together like that. So these 3 points I told you. Milestones, role model and peers. Any habit can be practiced, not difficult. And another thing I'll tell you regarding how to change our certain type of behavior. Say, for example, I become little angry with somebody. How to change that behavior? Or I am little lazy or careless. What to do with that? Or I am too slow to do the things. Or I make promises but I fail to fulfill. So I have found out what are some deficiencies. First, write down those deficiencies. So then there is another 3-step process for this. Know the right, choose the right, discipline the right. You can write these 3 things. Know the right, choose the right, discipline the right. So know the right. How will you know? From Shastras, you know that what is right behavior, what is wrong behavior, you can know. Correct, no? So write down what is the right conduct. I should be doing this. I am not doing it. Devotees are unhappy because of this. And choose the right means, okay, now instead of this, I should be doing this. So choose the right one and write it. Like that. For example, as I told you, Uh, what is know the right? For example, Lord says, Hanudvega karam vakyam. Satyam, Priya, Hitam Chayat, Swadhyaya, Abhyasanam Chayva, Vangmayam Tapauchate. 5 elements of good speech, he says. So I write it down. This is the right thing. And what am I doing now? The wrong thing. I am failing in this. So know the right. And after knowing the right and wrong, which you get from the scriptures. Secondly, choose the right. That is not very easy. Choosing the right is something that requires willpower. How many of you know what is right, but you find difficulty to do? And for that, I gave you those 3-step process: milestones, role model, and peers. That's where you will get the willpower to choose the right. Correct, no? So know the right, choose the right. Once you are able to do these 2 things, then disciplining the right means clock comes. Clock and calendar comes. Disciplining the right. Okay, today I will do it at this time. For this week, I will do. For this month, I will do. That is disciplining the right. That's possible. So in this way, any damn behavior you want to bring about, it all depends on how you systematically implement it. Is clear now? Yeah. And also, in case there are some subtle things which you may want to change. Say, for example, you want to change your thinking style. Like you think this Mother Mataji is always faulty, she's like this or something like that. So then how do we change that thinking? To change till now I'm telling about habits and behavior. Let us talk about thinking. To change thinking, 2 things are required. First is self-observation. Observe yourself from a point outside your body and look at yourself. That's what Krishna teaches in 2.56 onwards in Bhagavad Gita. Observe yourself. What type of person am I? Am I finding fault with many devotees? Or am I finding fault only with her? You can ask yourself. So, I am finding fault with multiple devotees. It looks like I'm finding fault with dozens of devotees. Then maybe I am not able to see the truth from multiple perspectives. There is some limitation in me. So then I will have to change my outlook. So like that you can come to an ascertainment. Like there's one devotee who would say, Prabhuji, this fellow is lazy, that fellow is crazy. He can, I don't know. Then I asked him, whom do you want? Prabhuji, give me a perfect devotee. Then I said, okay, go to Brahmaji and ask for a creation, new creation, for a perfect devotee. Everybody has some deficiency, right? No? So a good leader means you can work even with certain devotees with some deficiencies also. So therefore, self-observation is very important. We always, like imagine if I have a carbon black on my nose and I am laughing at somebody. Somebody may say, Prabhu, you also have a carbon black here. And then you look in the mirror and say, oh, now I see it now. So we have to make observation of ourselves, self-observation. Another thing is positive mental attitude. What is that? So you go to your garden. First, do you see the fragrant roses or you see thorny bushes? Some of us have a mindset where we always point out what is not there. We don't point out what is there. One fellow told in Pune, to His Holiness BBB Maharaj, Bhakti Brihat Bhagavat Maharaj came. He said, Maharaj, if there is politics in the temple, what to do? Very loaded question he asked. Maharaj said, is Mangalarati happening? He asked, yes, Maharaj, he said. Is Narsingharati happening? Yes, Maharaj. Is Tulasi Arati happening? Yes, Maharaj. Are devotees coming together for doing japa? Yes, Maharaj. Are they attending Guru Puja Prabhupada? Yes, Maharaj. Is Sringar Darshan there? Oh, yes, Maharaj. Is Bhagavatam class also happening? Yes. Why don't you take advantage of all this? Yes, Maharaj. Stay sat down. That's all. Maharaj said, why are you seeing what is not there? See what is there. Correct, no? Then you will be happy. So, Maharaj said, focus. Makshika vrinam ichanti madhum ichanti madhupa. It said, be like a honey bee to focus on the honey in the flower. Don't go for focusing on the stool like the fly. Like that it is said. So that is the another aspect, second aspect. That means try to cultivate a positive mindset of seeing the sunny side of people. The first one is self-observation. What change that I can do in order to have a good relation with other devotees? That is self-observation. And positive attitude means to see the brighter side of other people. Correct, no? Like once Duryodhana and Yudhishthir, both were sent in 2 different directions. Duryodhana was told to find out someone better than you. Yudhishthira was told, find out someone inferior to you. Both the guys came back in the evening. So Dronacharya asked them, Duryodhana, could you find anyone better than you? He said, huh? All over the world, all nasty fellows. I couldn't find a single person better than me, he said. Everybody has some flaw, he said. And Yudhishthira Maharaj said, I couldn't find anyone inferior to me because everybody has some good qualities. Huh? In fact, I feel I have to learn from all other jivas. And then Dronacharya said, Duryodhana, you couldn't find anyone better than you. Here is Yudhishthira, better than you. And Yudhishthira, you couldn't find anyone inferior. Here is a fellow inferior. You know. So in this way, we can change our outlook. Huh? We can change our. So this our thinking style can also be changed. So we have to give up this naked Pencho perception, we say, correct, no? One Pencho used to be a small boy naked, but later on he left the village and went to town and city and abroad, and he got a barrister from London, came back and became a high court magistrate. The news reached the village that he became a high court judge. And the older people laughed and said, hey, he was a naked Pencho in the village. Huh? How can he become a high court judge? But repeatedly people told them, hey, no, really he has become a high court judge. Then they said, maybe he must be doing job free without taking any salary. They were saying. Some people are rigid in their fossilized perceptions. They refuse to change their perception. Then they can never change. Huh? But if you want to change your thinking style, we should be open-minded with an attentive ear and an open-minded heart. Huh? One should be willing to change one's perceptions. For that, these two things I told you. Make a self-observation and have a positive mental attitude. These two things. Yeah. And more deeper than, yes, Mataji, yeah. Give the mic to her. There was one hand behind one, another Mataji also said. Mataji, you got the mic? Yeah, you can tell the question. You tell the question, then we will give it to her. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So this is one question from the one of the girls of the girls forum. I'm not related to this topic either, but still. So she says that over the years she has seen blind and deaf people, or rather blind people, always singing other songs other than the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and she says that all of them sang some other songs, but not even one Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Are special cases made for them to reach Krishna by ISKCON devotees? Yes. Yes.
He's talking about blind people.
Blind and even blind and deaf people.
There is one Mataji called Champaklada Mataji in Hyderabad. So she has even made a Braille Bhagavad Gita also. And she goes to many schools in Hyderabad. She has hundreds of children, blind and deaf children. She's doing it as a service. She's available. Also, Radha Gopinath Prabhu is having a group in Bangalore also. He was telling that deaf and dumb people. So he also knows some group of people. Probably if these two people are contacted, we can get more information. Huh?
Thank you so much, Roji.
And there was one hand of Maji yourself. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, sometimes we hear some devotees say, Prabhupada said like this.
Yeah.
But when we go and ask for a reference, they don't have an answer. So just not to make them feel offended, or how should we take it? Because Chinese whispers are everywhere.
So when they say that, are they saying the right thing or a wrong thing according to your estimation?
No,
Are they saying, no, I'm asking, according to your estimation, what they're saying seems to be right or seems to be wrong?
in my case, Prabhuji, twice I found it wrong because I read Lilamrita and I could think, but you just said no, we should not fault find. And at that time, what should be our consciousness? Because it can create blunders also. If
Okay, so you can think in your mind, in this world, all jivas have come with a propensity of sense gratification. And they want some justification for that. And they may quote Prabhupada, so that Prabhupada allowed this, Prabhupada allowed that. They may say that, you know. When you find them doing it, you can know that they may not be the good, they may not be the right devotees for you to associate with. So you can use it as a purpose of your discrimination and say that, okay, henceforth I will not argue with this devotee. I'll keep a little distance. My time is limited. Let me associate with those who are properly situated. So you have the right to discriminate between devotees for the purpose of your picking up association. We pick up some association and drop some association. For that you can use, and we don't have to ridicule about them to somebody else. Because we do that, hey, this person speaks proper Leela, but then concocts many things. If you tell a few others, then they won't leave you, they will also harass you. Instead, you keep away from such devotees and associate with those whom you feel are authentic. Right, no?
Prabhuji, in line with this, so
Hmm.
if we see them saying this and all other things repeatedly to many other people, and then suddenly we see that standards in the temple have come down,
Because of them.
yes, what should we do, Prabhuji? We
Oh, then you should report to their authority that they have compromised, on this particular standard, and they are also spreading the word around. It's polluting the other devotees. They are also going for a compromise. Then the leaders should come to know so that they will take a swift action. You should definitely do that.
So, Prabhuji,
Hmm.
I have faced this personally, and in that case, I couldn't find any authority to go and say.
Hmm.
And I
Here
kept-
you are Narahari Chaitanya Prabhu. He's the senior most man. You can write to Narahari.
Prabhuji, I am from Mangalore.
Acha, Mangalore.
So, and then
Oh, in Mangalore, there is Sriram Prabhu, there is Sutapa Prabhu, Namanishta Prabhu.
So I can just tell and be
Oh, yes. You can write a mail to them or
because
tell them.
feeling guilty for so many days, and
Correct, correct.
it was disturbing.
Oh,
me.
definitely. Every temple has some president, some authority, and it's our duty to bring it to their awareness. If you are not making them aware, they may not be knowing, and there may be compromises made. What you said is true. These kind of challenges are there everywhere. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Yes? Yes, Puji. One mic is coming here? Yeah.
Prabhu, how do you take feedback in your temple from a management? I mean, pluses and minuses.
We have 10 email addresses. We have 10 email addresses. And there are feedback 1, feedback 2, like that, feedback 10. So any brahmachari, any of the temple residents can go to the room, and we have a computer room where they can go and write the mail, or from any computer they can write. With any of the feedback mail they can pick up. Nobody will come to know who has written the feedback. Even when I reply back also, I say feedback 4 Prabhu, whether I don't know who it is. And generally, when they write that email to me, they will also put that HOD in CC. They'll put also, Radheshan Prabhu, this kitchen department is doing like this, we are not happy with this. Or that particular department is doing like this, they will write. Because now they can write very openly because they know that their name will not come out. They may be junior also. Generally, the HODs become little angry when they see the mail because they say, come out. They would say, why are you hiding, like giving feedback? And then I used to reply back to them, hey, don't try to see, why are you asking to come out? Is there some truth or not in what he is saying? If it is, then modify. So nowadays, everybody has become very mature, all departments. Seniors also give a very frank explanation why they are doing what they are doing, why this decision was made. That feedback system is working very well. Last 8-10 years we are having. And congregation can also write emails to me. My phone number, email, everything is available in our information center. Anybody can directly contact. I get many letters also, handwritten. Some of them send me emails also. Some of them will write a mail to me and tell me that, you don't reveal my name, but please make sure it is done. Then without the name, I will cut and paste only the message to the concerned department and tell them. Like sometimes Govindas, recommendations will come, suggestions will come. I will send it to them without telling the name. Actually, feedback is a very good idea. The temple can be developed very nicely if you accept feedback. People see that we are very open. We have open culture for free speech. Then many will give good suggestions, and that is very helpful. Some people are very critical fellows. Like one fellow, he doesn't like jambe. He says that you should go, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never use jambe, he says. You go in Mridanga only. But then Mridanga players find it difficult in outdoor kirtan. I replied back to him and he won't agree. Repeatedly long mails he writes. Then we don't care about it. We tell him that, you want to go back to Satya Yuga or something, there are certain things in ISKCON. We are a East-West organization. And we don't use jambe inside the temple hall. We use it only when you go for outdoor. So some feedbacks may not be very fruitful. They may be very critical. Also, if they are offending some devotee, I will correct them while giving feedback. I will tell them, see, point out the problem, not the person. You should not criticize anyone. Your style of giving feedback, refine yourself. I would warn them and reply back also. So in this way, it's going quite well. One other hand was up. Who was? Yeah, please.
Krishna brother, thank you for the class.
Thank you.
One thing I want to ask regarding the Mayavad philosophy. Whenever if we talk with any new people, they'll be saying the philosophy. It seems like philosophy of like personalism philosophy only.
Mm.
So to understand this, is there any specific section of Bhagavatam or any playlist where we can understand that like this Mayavad? We should also not get like converted like.
Oh. No, actually, it's very easy to understand. See, Mayavadis also worship deities in their temples also. But their idea is the chanting the holy name and worshipping the deity is a stepping stone to merge in Brahman. They think like that. Just like, for example, I have a juice. I take a spoon and stir it. Once stirring is over, you throw it away. Use and throw. Like that they do it. So therefore, it is a very condemned philosophy. Like, for example, Ganesh, they will worship for a week and they'll put him in water. Have you seen in ISKCON any deity put in water? We will worship the Lord for our whole life and beyond death also. They will do Visarjan. Even Kali Visarjan they do in Bengal also. Keep Kali for a week and then they will put it in the water. We don't do that. So that kind of, it's very easy to understand. Mayavad in Prabhupada's books, if you read, you can do one thing. Go to Vani quotes. Just put the word Mayavad. So you'll get lot of Prabhupada's Vani quotes. You can cut and paste and keep it with you and go through that. So you'll get a good understanding. Also, you can read teachings of Lord Chaitanya. It's with Sarvabhattacharya and Prakash and Saraswati Deliverance. From that, you get a thorough understanding. You can conclude?
But before that,
Yeah.
Prabhu, when are you coming next?
I come once a year only here.
No, you should come twice, Prabhu.
See, I can, I asked yesterday, I can come 4 days, twice a year. Here 2 days and that temple 2 days. I have to go to Sheshadipuram also. There 2 days, here 2 days. And then 2 times I can come. Or I can come once where I come for 1 week at a stretch. I say 3.5 days there, 3.5 days here. Like that. This time I did like that, correct? Yeah. This year my calendar is full already. I made like that. Next year when I make, I will consult Sonagar Prabhu and Narayana Chaitanya Prabhu. I can come twice each time, 2 days here. Like first semester 2 days and next one 2 days here. I can come like that. Correct, no? 2 or 2.5 days I can do that. If I do like that. That is true. That is you have video recording available. This was just like a teaser. You read, you see this, you get inspired, and then you can hear the other 4 parts. It's if you just put Shake It Steady, Radhishantas, you will get it.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu, for a wonderful association. Actually, this is the last day, so I thought I could just come and take some association. I had some commitments in my house. I had to take care of my mother and all the things. Somehow I made it today. Prabhu, one thing is lingering the mind is in our day-to-day living, among the community of devotees here, the temple or outside the temple, or in the family or outside the family, there are many things happening. That some people are happy with, you are happy with somebody because they are glorifying you or a good relationship, or somebody is hurting you. How to take the hurt also like a glorification? How to be friendly with the person even if the person hurts? How to forget and forgive and then have a happy community?
Yeah.
Either in the house also.
Actually, how to forgive, forget, and be friendly. This is one topic. See,
in one sense,
I will tell you briefly. I'll tell you briefly. But if you hear there is in Hindi also, in English also. I had spoken with the PowerPoint also. 3-4 past times we took a PowerPoint. I showed it. How to forgive, forget, and be friendly. It's not the same. 3 are very advanced steps. Prithu Maharaj not only forgave Indra, he was ready to forget the mistakes of Indra, and he embraced him also. It's a very advanced type of forgiveness, So, on the other hand, Drupada and Drona had a lifelong enmity, just the opposite. In my life, what I generally would think is, by not forgiving somebody, you don't stand to gain. Ultimately, do you want to gain or you want to lose? We have to ask that question. Consequence of being adamant and brittle. So we lose friendship, and we also, could have done something together very nicely. We have lost that opportunity. Secondly, doctors say that those people who maintain a kind of seed of vengeance in the heart, mind, that causes diseases in the body, they say, because it goes into the system. Constantly, it's like a radioactive element. It's causing some trouble to your mind and body. In the long run, it is not good. But I can tell you certain ways by which you can tolerate and forgive. No? For example, if some drunkard speaks some abusive words, will you be angry? You'll not, because why? Because you know that he is not in good sense. Similarly, the living entities are afflicted by three gunas. So they are like a drunkard only. So then why to take their word seriously? You can understand, he is not a liberated jiva. If a liberated jiva says something, you should take it seriously. Say your spiritual master says something about you, you should take it seriously. But a conditioned soul is saying something, you hear it like this and leave it like this and go. That's one thing. Another thing, if you are trying to rectify something, you are not able to, somebody else is not understanding you, you can understand that maybe some past karma is now coming to me. Unnecessarily, I have to go through this troublesome situation, correct? Na? So, when you understand it's coming from the past, it's a part of the process we have to go through. Whether you like it or not, what cannot be cured must be endured. That's the second thing. You can think like this. Another thing you can think that at least because I am in Krishna consciousness now, I am getting some nice perspective to see the situations. And Krishna is there, devotees are there, Shastras are there, Prasadam is there. All these things are giving me some spiritual strength, by which I am able to withstand this pressure that is coming in my life. Imagine those who don't have these things. So I have these things, so I am very grateful for all these things. That's one thing you can think. Another thing you can think also is, whenever we are hurt, we only think that that person has hurt me. We don't understand what I have done to him due to which he hurt me. One example I'll tell you. When Drona went to Drupada's palace, he was little arrogant. It's mentioned in Mahabharata. He directly went and said, "Hi, King Drupada, where is my half the kingdom that you told me in the Gurukula days? Give me now." Like that he said. And Drupada said, he's asking as if, he has a claim over it. He told him, see, Brahmana means you are coming to accept charity. You can't claim half my kingdom. Your attitude doesn't sound good. Your tone is not proper. And he told the minister, give him a cow and send him off. And then started the whole problem. So both friends, they hurt each other. So the Mahabharata, what it says, because Drona spoke in that tone, it attracted arrogant speech on the part of Drupada. Similarly, many times we all fail to see what did I do due to, like if I throw a ball on the wall and ball comes back and hits me, I say, why is the ball coming on my head? Because you threw it. So by being empathic, if I was in his place, some people push and try to get something done which the other person is not able to do. And they wonder, he's not doing, but he's not capable of doing it. Like for example, you ask a poor devotee to donate for the whole feast of 50,000 rupees for sponsoring this thing. He says, I can give 5,000 or 8,000. But he says, no, you have to give 50,000. You push him, and he's not giving. Then you say that he is conjuice, he's miserly, you call him names. So in the same manner, we have to check what did I do which attracted that response. One example I'll tell you. Take Dhruva Maharaj, only one person only. Suruchi behaved in one way, Suniti behaved in. So Suruchi brought worst out of Dhruva, and Suniti brought best out of Dhruva. Person is same person. That means we have to behave like Suniti with others, not like Suruchi. Because the person is same, but you can extract best out of somebody or worst out of somebody. Right now, when I find it difficult to forgive, because what came out of that other person? Worst came out. But who brought that worst out? Correct, no? That one should think about. Like for example, I go and twist the tail of a sleeping tiger. And then tiger comes. Why is tiger so angry with me? Similarly, for some people, certain things are very sensitive. You go and pamper that. Like, one Mataji brought her daughter and told to one congregation devotee that, my daughter got 93% in 10th standard. And the congregation devotee was telling that, oh, is it? Just 1 hour ago, I heard another devotee's father and mother came and told me he got 98%. So how do you think they will feel? They felt wild. They said, this fellow is speaking as if my daughter is incompetent. So you should not say the right thing at the wrong time. Although what he said is not false, but he told, in case he told that, oh, really, 93 is a very big marks. Most people are getting 80, 85, and your daughter has got 93, then they will be very happy. So we should know how to make the devotees happy and not make them unhappy by saying the right thing at the wrong time. Similarly, some devotees have enmity with somebody else. You should know in advance only. If you don't know, you praise them to this person, you are gone. Next 2 hours, you are gone. They will hang on your neck to prove to you that you are praising a wrong person. Then you will really get into trouble. So therefore, when we are dealing with multiple devotees, we have to be careful. And if you hear that lecture, you will get many pastimes like this elaborated. Especially Prithu Maharaj is an excellent pastime of forgive, forget, and be friendly. So thank you. It became pretty late for all of you, more than 9:45. Shri Prabhupada ki. So I'm very thankful to Narayana Chaitanya Prabhu and all the committee members here. And it's very ecstatic experience for me to come to this temple, and such a nice facility Krishna has given all of you. Many great things are going to happen in the time to come here with this nice temple of Radha Vinodji. Haribol.
Haribol. So we're extremely grateful to Prabhuji for coming here. We're just sitting and going through his schedule. Whole calendar till December is fixed. There's no slot. So many places he's traveling. Twice a year, Prabhuji goes to USA for 3 months. 1.5 months and 1.5 months. So in April he's going. April, May, he's coming back in June. Again he's going in September and coming back in October. So Prabhuji is also president of ISKCON Pune and also of Hyderabad. And Prabhuji has many zones in Maharashtra to take care, and so many youth preaching centers, so many temples where he has sent his devotees for preaching. And in America, he has about 10 cities in different states, 10 different states where he goes and is preaching. Like a few years back, GBC gave him the responsibility of a GDO. if any of your cousins or daughters or sons, anybody studying in USA, please get in touch with Prabhuji. Yeah, so there are many, like Brooklyn and Boston and Dallas, wonderful youth preaching is happening. They have youth centers also there. And in other places also, Prabhuji has a plan to start youth preaching and establish strong, because Prabhuji is feeling that no, the Prabhupada disciples are still running the temples and they are old, 70 years, above 70 years, and they're not even able to lift arti plates, can't cook for the deities, but still they are sticking on and taking responsibility and serving. So Prabhuji wants the young generation to replace, assist the elder generation, learn their wisdom and serve them, so that they can peacefully chant Hare Krishna and the last few years of their life they can spend peacefully. So he wants the young devotees to help there. So that is the next mission, current mission of Prabhuji. And always he speaks about this only in most of the classes. So in all the classes, almost Prabhuji is speaking about this. It goes to show that Prabhuji is taking this very seriously. So we also can try to help him. If you have any contacts, so please let me know so I can get him in touch with Prabhuji. Okay, so let's thank Prabhuji by once from the core of our heart chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this year Prabhuji came only once. So we request that Prabhuji comes twice, once in the summer and maybe once in the winter season. So this will be very helpful for our congregation. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.